Hi guys, and welcome back. This is the second chapter, and today we are going to talk about risk and scams. I know that it is something that could be like why we are talking about scams, why I want to learn about how to make more money. Yes, I understand your point, but let's be assured that if you don't know how to defend yourself, the risk of losing everything is so high. I'm not saying that it is impossible, but we are not like to a casino. We are here because we want to be strategizer. We want to be in complete control of our future. And I'm here with Elias that will help us to better understand literally what does it mean scams and how they can appear into the DeFi space.
Yes, I mean, if it comes to being scammed, I think I'm a pro.
No, I mean, yeah, that's incredible. Even if we are expert, I think that at least I am talking for myself, but there are several times when I have been scammed into this space, especially at the beginning of my journey, because that's part of the game. I know what is the craziest time that you have been scammed, if it ever happened, or what is the craziest scam that you find out into this space?
The craziest one is actually people who try to scam our customers from our platform. And I mean, we have a liquidity mining platform, and what people did was they cloned the whole user interface and put it on a domain which seemed to be similar, but not exactly the same. And then they wanted to get people on that site and connect their MetaMask and give full access to the smart contract, and the smart contract just emptied the whole MetaMask. And it's hard if you hear from people that they got scammed. And I have a lot of friends and stuff which are joined the industry, and I mean, you probably say the same. When you start in the industry, don't go all in. Don't put your MetaMask full with money.
Absolutely.
Just put a bit of money on it. Try around, and you will see that you will get habits. And I think there's another video of you which will come about habits. And
absolutely, that's really secure. Important. Really, that's today is much more important. Understanding that scams are part of the DeFi reality right now. But most of all, it's not just about DeFi, because if you think about in the moment when you are receiving calls that are trying to scam you, you're receiving emails that people are trying to steal your data. Or for example, the other day I was trying to sell my phone, and it's incredible. Half of the contacts that I received were scams. And that's part of this life. The whole digital world is making much more easy to contact other people and to sell scams. And that's part of the game. And another thing that I want to add to on top of what you said, and this is really important, is that don't rush anything, because it's so common and scammers are becoming so good. They are able to clone literally the same website, everything is equal, but also like the same Telegram group with the chat, with the same kind of content inside. That's incredible. One time I was in a rush and I wanted to participate into a launch of a product, and I literally had like 1 minute. So I received this notification in the right time. I entered the group, had the same name, the same content, and everything was pretty amazing. So I clicked on the link. The website was the same. I checked briefly also the link, and looks good. So I connect my MetaMask account. Fortunately, I was just putting there a couple of bucks, not so much money. But it's insane how just because I was in a rush, because I had to go out and I wanted to complete that kind of action to that protocol, into that application, I lost not so much money, but I lost money. And that's the point. Slow down. We are talking about money. So it's your money. If you care about your money, exactly as you will not simply give out your money to the first person that is calling you just because he's trying to say to you that, I don't know, your mom is sick and they need your money right now. That's bad, but that's the world that we are living on. And Europe,
I mean,
please
to add something here, and that's the reason why we do such a course. That's the reason why we want to educate people, because
well said.
You have to imagine everywhere where there is uncertainty or people don't know stuff exactly, scammers see opportunity. And that's exactly why Alberto is doing such a great job on his YouTube channel and in this course to explain how stuff works, so you can logically think and realize, oh, that's not possible, that can't be, and yeah, evaluate yourself if something is a scam or not.
Yeah, that's the whole point, because DeFi is a great opportunity, and as we are seeing all around this journey, you can earn a lot of money, but on the other side, you need to learn to defend yourself. And that's the reason why we decided to put a whole chapter about risk, because scams, and a scam can come in any kind of form. There are people that are writing into the comments on YouTube. There are many scammers on YouTube. Unfortunately, you can't delete them all. Or there are people that are writing to you on private, just they are having the lookalike of me or the Grizzlyfy or any other application that you are using. They are cloning website. They are maybe sending you emails, or they are asking you to do actions that are not really required. So really pay attention and be sure that what we are using is the real website, and don't use exotic stuff, even if they are promising to you really high returns, because the risk of losing everything is insane. Stick to what has a really long history, exactly as when we were talking about stable coins. If it has a long history, well, probably it is reliable. At the same time, if an application has a long history, probably it is reliable and it's not a scam. But otherwise, don't. And if you want to use something, just use with a low amount of money. I don't know if what is, in your opinion, the greatest advice that you can give to someone that want to avoid scams.
I really hope that you ask me, and I have one sentence, and that sentence is used by every crypto enthusiast, by every hacker, and it is: don't trust, verify. Right?
That's true. That's absolutely true.
You always have to verify. Don't trust nobody. Don't trust us. Don't trust anyone in the world. Just verify it. If someone is saying, hey, go to this website, it's the official one. Don't trust, just verify it. You can always verify a website with how it should look. Is it app.grizzly.fi or is it set.app.grizzly.fi? You can always verify it. And if you're not sure, just ask someone, ask an expert, ask Alberto, ask me, ask anyone. Just verify that it's real, and don't trust anyone. That's very, very important. And that also helped me, because I'm also that guy. I think you're the same, Alberto. I trust in the good of people, and
absolutely,
in that case,
it's not working.
In that case, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. You just always have to verify, because numbers don't lie, and code doesn't lie, but people unfortunately do. And in that space, you really have to be careful.
And I would add also another thing is about guys, even if you are working into the DeFi space with a small amount of money, take the habit of verifying everything, because exactly as you do the small things, you do also the big things. It's just a matter to getting used into the right way, how to use DeFi, how to make money, because making money is a habit, but you need to start making it right. If you are taking the habit not to verify, not to have good safety measure, that's not the right way to start. So guys, as Elias said, always verify and be aware that scams are there, and you need to defend yourself. Thank you, Elias, for this, for the help of explaining how to defend yourself. And I will see you soon also into the next chapter. And all you guys, I will see you into the next video. Bye. Hi, guys, and welcome back. Today, we will talk about the risk connected of using any DeFi protocol. And more specifically, we will be focusing about hacking, scams, and also different kind of happenings that happened during this year. And I will tell you also the stories that are behind of them. And some of them is quite curious, but on the other side, what I really want from you is, guys, take this story, learn the risk, because nothing is coming for free. Okay, let's start immediately, because I have prepared also for you a couple of slides. First of all, the first kind of risk that you have in the moment when we are using any kind of DeFi protocol, but also when you are just buying a coin, is price manipulation. What does it mean? It means that the price, instead of having its organic way, it could be manipulated. How? Well, simply using some kind of inefficiency, like there is a low amount of liquidity, so people can simply drain the order book and the price can pump by, I don't know, 5%, 10%, some cases, specifically into the past, the kind of flash pump or fresh crash were much higher. Right now that there are more people, more money into the game, it is much more difficult to manipulate the market. But even now, it is something that is still happening. So in the moment when you are looking at a chart and you are seeing this kind of spike up or down, this is due to some kind of price manipulation. If you're wondering why it's so important when it comes to DeFi to have this kind of manipulation, is because someone is using these manipulations also to steal money on protocols. It happened just a couple of months ago in October when a hacker simply manipulated the price of the Oracle, so the way that the protocol, the application is checking the price to display you the right price. And what happened? He manipulated the price, so for a couple of seconds, minutes, or whatever it was, the protocol, the application was believing that the price of that asset was much higher than what it was in reality. So what he has done is simply taking these coins, using them as a collateral, so using them as a guarantee, and due to the fact that the protocol, the application was believing that the price of these coins were much higher than the reality, he has been able to take a loan for more than 100 million. The problem is that in the moment when he took the loan and the price of the asset that he used as a collateral came back to the normal price, the protocol remained with a bad debt, something that will be never repaid. And in this way, this hacker took more than 100 million. Going to the second kind of risk is about PEG. When we talk about DeFi cryptos, you will heard many times about stablecoins. We have been talking about also in one of the previous videos. If you missed that one, or if you don't remember it, go back. We were talking with Elias about it. The most famous story about the PEG has been with the fall of Terra Luna. Terra Luna was an ecosystem that was based on a stablecoin that was called UST. This stablecoin were supposed to have a value of $1. Unfortunately, at a certain point, it simply crashed, causing a hole of more than 60 billion. Yes, we're talking about $60 billion. So a lot of money. If you're wondering why, in that case was because the kind of system, that kind of stablecoin was an algorithmic stablecoin. As we were talking into the previous video, the most safe kind of stablecoins are the ones that are over collateralized. So it means that the amount of money that is behind the stablecoin is higher than the amount of stablecoins that has been issued. In this case, there were nothing behind that stablecoin, or better, there was another token that was volatile to it. So as you can understand, trying to back something that should be stable with an algorithm, something that is really volatile, could be quite risky. And the reality is that someone simply attacked, because the reality is that in order to make that kind of crash, someone should attack the system. A bank run happened immediately after, and unfortunately the price of this crypto, this stablecoin, ended to have a value of 0. So that's something that is really important for you. You need to understand which is the kind of asset you are holding into your wallet. Specifically, if you're using stablecoins. Guys, use safe stablecoins, because losing the peg, it is something that is quite dangerous. Finally, is about hacking. So losing money due to an hack of the protocol that you are using. That's something that we have been seeing many times during the last year. More than 2 billion of cryptos have been hacked during the last year. So that's a really lot amount of money. And most of the times they are referring to bridges. So the kind of infrastructure that is used to connect one blockchain to another blockchain. And hackers are attacking this blockchain, like in the case of a Nomad bridge, with a full loss of around 200 million. I gave you just these 3 examples just to let you understand that in the moment when you're using any kind of protocol, you need to understand that there are risks. Risks that could be of different kinds. And if you're wondering how to defend yourself, well, guys, we will discuss better about that in the moment when we'll talk about the good habits. Right now, what I can tell you is that history, the kind of reputation of that protocol. So use something that has a long history, something that has a good reputation. And if you have any doubt, always verify, always ask me into the comment section on the Telegram group, ask to Elias, ask to anyone. And even better, ask to more people, because the more kind of answer you will receive, the more reliable will be the answer. Also, so if you have any other question, use the comment section below or on Telegram. Guys, thank you, and I will see you into the next video. Hi guys, and welcome back. Today we'll talk about something that is so important, but at the same time, most of the time, looks quite complex. I will make it really easy for you just to explain you how does it work, the impermanent loss. As you will see, that's something that you should know no matter what, guys. Don't use any kind of yield farming. Don't use any kind of activity like you are providing liquidity to any protocol if you don't have real clear in your mind how does it work, the impermanent loss. Because as you will see, impermanent loss sounds like something that is weird. How a loss could be impermanent. But at the same time, as you will discover in a moment, that's something that is not so complex. It's just a matter to understand how DeFi is working. Okay guys, so let's start immediately because I have prepared for you a couple of slides. So let's start immediately. In order to understand impermanent loss, what you need to know is that it is referring the moment when you are providing liquidity to a protocol. Maybe you heard about the possibility to use DEXs like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, or many others. A DEX is simply a decentralized exchange. So it is a platform, an application that is based on the blockchain and will allow you to trade, to exchange one coin for another one. The point is that due to the limitation of the blockchain at the moment, most of these platforms are not using the same kind of system that is used from a centralized exchange, like Binance, for example. When you open Binance, you will see that there is an order book, and you can use this order book to trade. An order book simply means that someone is saying that in the moment when the price is reaching this level, I will buy. And according to what other people are saying, let's say that I will sell at this level, I will buy at this other level, an order book will be simply matching a demand and offer and will generate the price. The point is that the amount of transactions that will be needed in order to manage an order book on a blockchain, it is too high. That's the reason why most of these centralized exchanges, so the platform on blockchain that will allow you to go, for example, like in the example here from Bitcoin to Ethereum, are using an AMM, that is an automated market maker. Don't say, oh my God, what are you saying? It's too complex. I know that are new words, but as you will see, it's not too difficult. An AMM, so this market maker, it simply means that it's using a box to trade. As you can see in the image, let's say that you have $100 of a Bitcoin and you want to exchange them to receive another $100 of Ethereum. What is doing this system is taking your Bitcoin, putting them in a box where it is half of the value is composed by Bitcoin and the other half is composed by Ethereum. So it is putting 100 Bitcoin into the box of Bitcoin and it's taking out from the other box of Ethereum the equivalent amount minus, and that's the reason why you are seeing that you are putting inside $100 and you are taking out just 99.7 minus a fee that is retained and will go to reward people that has provided liquidity. So as you can understand, the system is quite easy. We have this box, you are putting something inside and you can take out as the same equivalent in terms of money, in terms of value. And the beauty of this system is that anyone can participate. Also, you can provide liquidity to this box. As you can see from this image, let's say that you wanna participate to the system because you like the idea of having the opportunity to earn fees. What you can do is simply connect your wallet to the application and provide $100 or any kind of amount of Bitcoin and the same amount for Ethereum. you will deposit this money into this box. It is called into the slang a pool. This is a pool for your knowledge in terms of crypto slang. And at the same time, you will start owning a percentage of that pool. So let's say, as in the example, that the pool had inside $900 of Bitcoin plus $900 of Ethereum, and you are depositing $100 of Bitcoin and $100 of Ethereum. In that moment, you will start owning 10% of the pool. Obviously, the percentage of your ownings on the pool can change according to how much liquidity has been also deposited by other people. There is one important thing that you should know. It doesn't matter how much Bitcoin or Ethereum you have deposited inside the pool. You will always own just a percentage of the pool. And that's something that is so important in the moment when you are withdrawing your money, because most of the people are expecting that they will simply receive the same amount of Bitcoin and Ethereum that they have been depositing inside, plus the fees that have been collected through the system of going from Bitcoin to Ethereum and vice versa. The reality is slightly different, and it is due that you are just owning a percentage of the pool. It means that if the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum is going up or down, the real value of the pool will change during the time. Let's say due to the volatility that at the end we have just $500 of Bitcoin and $500 of Ethereum, and you are still owning the 10%, you will get out with just $100 instead of $200 as you were depositing in the beginning. This kind of loss is called impermanent loss. And more precisely, it is the difference from the kind of value that you would have in the moment when you were simply holding your cryptos into your wallet instead of providing liquidity into the pool. If you're wondering why you can end up with less money just because you have provided liquidity instead of holding into your wallet, there are two main reasons. First of all, it is because the prices are fluctuating, so there is some kind of volatility of the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin that is making changes into the amount of Ethereum that is into the box of Ethereum, and the same is happening in the amount of Bitcoin. And due to the fact that you are owning a percentage, you will simply be affected by that. And if you're wondering who is the one that is getting the most advantage from this situation, are people that are making arbitrage. Because do you remember in the moment when at the beginning we say that you can buy Ethereum using your Bitcoin? So in the moment when you are selling, the price of Bitcoin will go down, exactly as I was showing you here into this slide. As you can see, the price of Bitcoin will go down while the price of Ethereum will go up. And if the price is moving from the real price that, for example, it is on the other exchange, there is the opportunity for an arbitrage. So someone that can take, then remake the same price, but taking out resources from this pool. So taking Bitcoin from this pool and make you more poor. So at the end of the story, it means that in the moment when you are providing the liquidity, yes, you are earning fees, but you are affected by this kind of impermanent loss. It's called impermanent for the simple reason that the real amount of your loss will happen. You will discover it only in the moment when we are withdrawing your coins. The only way to not be affected by impermanent loss is that if the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum is not changing, it's staying the same, into the same ratio. Let's say that you have deposited when the price of Bitcoin was 10K and you have at the same time Ethereum was 1K. In the moment when you are withdrawing, if the price of Bitcoin is still 10K and Ethereum 1K, there will be no impermanent loss. But if for any reason the price is moving, the impermanent loss can affect you. Anyway, don't worry, because the impermanent loss in terms of percentage is not so high. Even if the price of one of the two assets is doubling, the kind of impermanent loss that you would have is around 5%. That is not a lot, but you have to remember that when we talk about cryptos, seeing a volatility that could be, you could have prices going up by 10x or down by 90% and so on, in that case, the kind of impermanent loss that you will suffer, it is much higher. So what you need to remember is that, guys, you have to understand that you are exposed to the impermanent loss. I will leave also the link into the pinned comment here into the comment section below of an impermanent loss calculator, just to give you the opportunity to make some calculation by yourself, understanding exactly which is the percentage that you will be affected. But what I want you to understand is that, guys, impermanent loss, it is a reality, and it's something that is a cost to receive the fees. And on top, in order to incentivize people to provide liquidity, that's the reason why there are programs of liquidity mining, yield farming, that are rewarding you in order to be pushed to use this kind of protocols. Guys, if you have any question, I understand that this is a quite complex topic. Feel free to ask into the comment section below or on the Telegram group. See you in the next video. Hi guys, and welcome back. In this video, we'll talk about risk, but most of all, what you can do wrong, or at least how, which is the kind of awareness that you have to know when it comes to the cost, the hidden cost of using any kind of DeFi protocol. And that's really important, because even if nobody is stealing from you, if you don't have clear in your mind how it works, well, you can lose money even if you were supposed to earn. Okay guys, so let's start immediately. I prepared for you a couple of slides, so let's do. The first one is about moving money. As you can see from also this image, it is just showing how to move money from one place to the other. And in the middle, you are seeing this kind of cascade of Bitcoin that is going in this hole where there is something like, looks like a miner. And the reason is because this is exactly what is happening. In the moment when you move money from one wallet to another one, it is not different like doing a wire transfer from your bank account to the bank account of someone else. And as you are well aware, specifically if you want to send a lot of money, you want to send money outside the country. Even worse is that if you want to send, let's say, dollar and the receiver should receive euro. These kind of transactions are costing a lot of money. And that's exactly what is happening also into the blockchain. The reality is that not all the blockchains are making you pay the same amount of money. There are blockchains that are much more expensive, like Ethereum or Bitcoin. Just to give you an example, it happened that in a certain kind of moment when the amount of people that are asking, that want to do a lot of transactions, so there is a high demand in that moment, the cost of a single transaction could go up even by $1,000. So yes, you are paying $1,000 to do that transaction. And it doesn't matter how much money you are moving. It's simply, you will simply pay the same amount no matter how much you are moving. And if from one side it could be something like crazy, oh my God, really? You want to make me pay $1,000 just to move $1? Yes, that's how it works. But the advantage is that, let's say you want to move 1 billion. The kind of a transaction cost that you will pay, it is something that will not change. That's the reason why when you want to do any kind of a transaction, so moving even just money, you will have always to check what is the amount of fees that you will pay. And that's something that will be displayed on your wallet. And you have to check if you like that amount or not. Because the kind of price that you will pay is something that is changes, really volatile. In some moment could be higher, in some other could be less. On other blockchains, the kind of cost is much cheaper. For example, using Avalanche, Binance Chain, Phantom, Solana, the cost is almost close to zero. So that's something that is much more convenient. If you're wondering why there is so big difference among the costs, it really depends from the process on how transactions are validated. Ethereum, you can compare it like going to someone that is certifying, so it is offering you a level of certification that is higher and is costing much more. If you want to have an authorized contract, well, that's something that is costing much more money. If you want to have something that is just like buying an ice cream, you don't need that kind of security. On the other side, there is another cost and another thing that you should remind. Smart contracts. If you're not aware, a smart contract is simply the kind of agreements, automated rules that are happening using the blockchain. The blockchain is simply the database that is having all the information. The smart contract is saying, okay, based on the information that I have that are coming from the blockchain, I can execute these transactions. It could be taking money, sending money, taking a loan, or selling something, or whatever you are requiring your smart contract to do. Smart contracts are having applications also in the world of the logistic or into the tokenization of assets. Real assets could be also a home, a house, and so on. So the kind of applications that could be used for smart contracts are many. Right now we are seeing social medias that are running on smart contract on blockchain that is using on top of smart contracts. Just to say you that smart contracts is something that is just like any kind of other agreement into the real world, a contract into the real world, this is simply smart, automated. The point is that to automate this kind of stuff, it is needing to do a lot of transactions. The more transactions are done, higher it is the cost. So that's something that you should be really aware. For example, the first transaction in order to use any kind of protocol is to authorize that protocol to use your funds to complete any kind of transactions. So what you need to understand is how many transactions that protocol will require in order to complete the goal. Usually at least 2 are necessary, and usually the first one is the cheapest one. If, for example, on Ethereum, that's something that's happening quite often, the first one is quite cheap, it's just a couple of dollars. But on the other side, when you go over, it could be that the next one is much more expensive. It could be $20, could be 100. It really depends how the protocol is set up. All of it to say, guys, pay attention of fees. And according to which chain you are using, the fees can change. That's something that you have always to check in order to avoid. It's always better to avoid the peak, because from one side, it's not only costing more, but the time required to complete, to validate that transaction could take much longer. So instead to take like a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes, it could take hours or sometimes even days because it's too congested. Not to mention that it could be even failed. So if it is failing, maybe you will not be able to execute the transaction as you wanted, and that's another hidden cost. All of it just to say, guys, pay attention of the cost of moving money and using smart contracts. It is much cheaper than using a traditional finance tool, but the reality is that you have to pay attention on which chain you are using, the moment that you are using, and always check the number, because it's always written on your wallet that you will pay. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, just write into the comment section below or on us on Telegram. Thank you, and I will see you soon into the next video. Hi, guys, and welcome back. Pay attention to this video because it's really important. Take care of all the good habits that I will present to you because it's so important. It's not a matter really about earning if you're not able to defend your funds. And that's what we'll discuss into this video. And guys, pay attention to everything because it's so important. If you have any kind of question, ask us into the comment section or on Telegram. Okay, let's start immediately. I prepared for you a couple of slides to the good habits of security. First of all, a good habit is always, instead of leaving your funds on a platform like Binance, Crypto.com, or any centralized exchange. Do you remember when we were talking about the difference between a CeFi and DeFi? Well, CeFi, it could be beautiful because you can call the support, but at the same time, it's not your key, not your funds. So they can say, man, we can't give you the money because you don't have any more of your money. And that's something that can happen if you're using your own wallet. And a good idea is always using a hard wallet like this one. In this case, I'm using Ledger, but you can use it Trezor or any kind of other wallet is better for you. This is so important because when you are using this kind of stuff, this is the kind of device that is managing your keys. Your keys are not on any device that is connected to internet, and if they are not on internet, they are much more secure because they are inaccessible for anyone that has malicious intention. The second rule is really important, probably the most important one, guys. Verify always. It doesn't matter who is the source that you have been listening about something that you want to use and so on. Verify the reliability of that source, check it, check the link. If you want to use, I don't know, Uniswap, that is a protocol just to exchange tokens, check that you are on the right domain. That's so important. A small check, but can change you everything. Do you remember what we were saying about scams and so on in the moment when me and Elias we were talking? Well, that's something that is happening too many times, unfortunately. So do always your verification, verify. It doesn't matter how much money you are moving. The habit, it is something that you have to train even in the small actions. And the more you are training yourself, the better you will become in the moment when you are using more money. Dedicated wallets, that's something that is quite interesting. And more specifically, I'm referring it when you are using a new protocol. Let's say you have heard about an application that is giving you a really high passive income opportunity. And you're wondering, is it legit or not? If you have any doubt, well, it is important that you are not using your main wallet where you are having all your funds into, but just create a new one. Do you remember on MetaMask? In the moment when you have created one, you can simply create another one, use another computer, use another kind of wallet, use simply another sub account into your same account. But please remind always to isolate your funds. So in case that the kind of protocol, the kind of application that you are using, it is a malicious one, at least you are putting at risk only the funds into that small account and not the whole pot. That's something that is so important. It applies exactly as diversification. The more you diversify, the more you are secure. And exactly it works also for wallets. Don't use the same box always, because there are applications that are also able, in the moment when you are connecting your account, to drain all of your resources. You'll end up with zero into your account. Zero, again, zero. And in order to avoid that, use a dedicated wallet, because if you want to just taste, use a couple of bucks. If you are losing a couple of bucks, well, it's not a problem. But if you're losing all of your money, that's a big problem. So remember this suggestion, because it's really important. And finally, key management. Key management is really important because, as I was telling you, the way to retrieve any kind of wallet is about keys. And even if we are using a hardware wallet, if you are saving the keys of this wallet on your WhatsApp, on your Dropbox account, on Slack, or Evernote, or any kind of other application that you are using, if someone is able to retrieve your keys, it will be able to steal your money, no matter that you are using a hardware wallet, because the keys, the phrase that we were saying the other day when I was showing you MetaMask, for example, are the ones that are used to access your funds in any way. I can use that key to simply buy another wallet and upload and use that key to upload your accounts into my new wallet. So that's so important. Key management, please use papers, use something that is safe. Divide them, use it on more papers, give it to someone that you trust or whatever it is. But pay attention that that's the only way to access your wallet, your funds. If you're losing them, there is no support, there is nobody you can call in order to help you to access your funds. So please, key management is so important. Guys, that's all. If you have any questions, write us on the comment section below or on Telegram, and we will be more than happy to support you. Guys, see you soon in the next video.